President Biden goes to Baltimore today to promote the benefits of a giant new infrastructure package approved by Congress. Now, it promises tens of billions of dollars to repair America's bridges and airports and build new railways and expand broadband access. Nancy Cordes is at the White House with more on this. Nancy, good morning to you. The president has got a lot to sell.
That's right. And this bill, keep in mind, Gayle, has not even been signed yet, but we're already learning a lot more about where this $1 trillion is going to go as states identify the infrastructure projects in their districts that are most in need of cash.
First up to get fixed in South Carolina is the so-called Malfunction Junction, a tangle of highways outside Columbia. In Kentucky, it's the Brent Spence Bridge, a notorious choke point for freight trucks that routinely sheds chunks of concrete into the Ohio River below. That state alone is slated to get at least $4.6 billion.
It's a godsend for Kentucky. I voted for it. I'm proud of it.
New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority will get a $10 billion cash infusion after ridership plummeted more than 90% at the beginning of the pandemic. And in Benton Harbor, Michigan this week, crews began an 18-month project to replace all lead service water lines with copper ones in anticipation of the $1.3 billion the state will get for water system improvements.
It's exciting to see that this can be done one day.
Every state will get at least $100 million to expand broadband access. States with large, underserved rural areas will get millions more. But identifying the right projects and planning them takes time, as the Commerce Secretary cautioned on Tuesday.
It's important to be realistic and you have to be honest with people, which is to say, we want to get this right. You know, it's more important to get it right than to rush.
President Biden is going to be visiting the Port of Baltimore this afternoon to highlight the roughly $17 billion that's going to be going towards renovating the nation's ports and strengthening the supply chain, which is something that is on so many Americans' minds right now as they wonder, Gayle, whether their holiday gifts are going to arrive on time.
I know we all want the answer to that. Nancy, before you go, we're learning of very disturbing threats that have been made against the Republican lawmakers who supported that infrastructure bill. I've heard some of the calls. It's really, really disturbing. What can you tell us about that?
Right. You know, this bill got a lot of Republican support in the Senate, but in the House, only 13 Republicans voted yes, and they're now getting a lot of abuse. For instance, Congressman Fred Upton of Michigan, who you just heard from in our piece, he played for us a voicemail that his office received. Take a listen.
You're a f***ing piece of traitor. I hope you die. I hope everybody in your f***ing family dies. I hope everybody in your f***ing staff dies. Traitor!
Representative of the really disturbing stuff that is now heading these lawmakers' way. President Trump has been very hard on them as well. He wrote in a statement that those who voted with Democrats for this bill should be ashamed of themselves. Earlier this year, it's worth pointing out, U.S. Capitol Police said that risks for lawmakers remain at an all-time high. They say that close to 9,000 threats are taking place against members of Congress this year alone, Gayle.
That kind of anger is so upsetting. Nancy, thank you very much.